This is the dawn of a new era in British karting. Over 550 drivers in 12 classes competing for victory over 18 race weekends. This is the Motorsport UK British Kart Championships. Forest Edge signals the season finale for the Motorsport UK British Kart Championships for Rotax classes. Whilst there are 5 drivers battling for the title, Matt Jones has put on a strong display in Senior Max all year long and now wants to end the season on a high.
This weekend started off quite promising. We were close to the pace. We were fairly quick in qualifying, but in the race we were a bit unlucky, involved in the first corner accident and weren't able to start the race. As I'm quite a local lad, I'm quite familiar with the track, so I've got a lot of experience and confidence around it. Standard in this class is really high and it's competitive through the full grid. It's all close racing.
Guy Connington for pole position from Ben Burgess, Tom Edmonds, Oakley Pryor, Lewis Halliday, Wooder, Gifford, Hunter, Johnson, Stansbury and Lowther, with 5 drivers in the hunt for the driver's title. Kieran Gifford, Oakley Pryor, Bradley Barrett, Reese Hunter and Guy Connington. It's the showdown of all showdowns here at Forest Edge in Senior Rotax. Jake Sanson with you. The lights will go out and we'll race for the last time. Here we go! Great start from Connington. He launches across and takes the early lead. And there's a problem early doors. Oh, and we've got 2 or 3 karts off the road already. Someone's got a mechanical problem and 2 karts have been spat out to the scenery as the rest of the field races its way round through Winges and up towards the bus stop for the first time. So now time to take stock of the situation and see who it was that didn't make it through at the start, because there are several drivers who are not able to continue. 2 drivers out of the race already. So now we need to look back and see what the situation is for those competitors, because 2 drivers out of the race, but Connington is your leader from Oakley Pryor and Ben Burgess. Big lunge forward from Reese Hunter. He makes a mammoth step forward into 4th place past Lewis Halliday. So this is going to be an absolutely amazing fight. But of course, we are still looking at Guy Connington being the champion on drop scores. He's 5th in total, but on drop scores, Connington is the favourite to win the title, especially if he can stay here. Oakley Pryor is 2nd, and if it stays like this, then it's going to be Connington who emerges as the senior Rotax champion. Last year, he was the vice junior champion. This year, he has really stepped it up a gear. The 9 plate has got a warning flag for something that has occurred on the first lap. Gifford, Barrett and Reese Hunter are doing their best to move forward, and every place is critical. Every point is essential now. Some great racecraft as they come across the line in the mid-pack. Connington from Pryor, Burgess is 3rd from Hunter, then Halliday, Stansbury, Wooder, Barrett, Johnson, Gifford, Davis, Rose, Lowther and Stenning. Jemima Hepworth up to 15th, Storrett up to 16th and Lockwood up to 17th. A massive comeback from Lockwood already. But Connington, Pryor and Burgess are up front and they are doing what they need to do. Pryor's just got to try and close up on Guy Connington before the end of this race. If he can pass him, then the championship might just change hands, because there's only 6 points between them if it finishes like this. And obviously, if Connington were to be passed by Pryor, he would score 3 points less. So Connington's got to beat Pryor on the road, and he's got to do it with a decent result. But Guy Connington is doing everything he needs to do. So far, it is looking okay. But considering he came into this weekend 5th in the points, he knew that on drop scores he had a good chance to get this job done, and the victory in the earlier final definitely cements that. But Connington is charging away. Now, Oakley Pryor's got to be careful and calculated here. He needs to register that Connington is pulling away, and he needs to be a bit more calculated about how he looks after his tyres, how he looks after his brakes, and whether he can work with Ben Burgess to close up on Guy Connington. But there's still a bit of a way to go here, and there are still 5 drivers who can be champion. It's all going to depend on what happens. But Connington so far is in the best position. We've got an issue on the straight. 2 drivers in trouble. That is Sam Harrison and Jemima Hepworth. Jemima Hepworth has had a problem on the main straight and she is out of the race here. So a big problem for Jemima Hepworth. Her brilliant season comes to an end. Yellow flags in the final turn. But we're just double checking to make sure that Jemima is okay here at the first corner. She's going to get out of the cart, so that is good news. Yellow flags though in the first bend, so there'll be no overtaking. And so the drivers are obviously going to continue on. Hopefully it's no full course yellow. Jemima Hepworth is escorted away by Nigel Edwards. A disappointing end to her season. But there's still plenty of future for her. The Young Racing Driver Academy star is definitely going to be a very competitive racer in the future. Guy Connington just holding station in the lead at the present moment in front of Oakley Pryor and Ben Burgess. Fourth position is Reese Hunter, desperately trying to salvage more points from this race. He's in fourth position at the moment, and he's got to hope that there's going to be a bit of drama up front. But Connington is just measuring his pace to Oakley Pryor, but Pryor is closing up. So Pryor is catching Connington. This battle is not done. Guy Connington leads, Oakley Pryor second. If he gets past, it's going to be on countback as to who gets the title between those two. And if they finish dead level on points, I have a feeling it's still going to be Guy Connington. But it will be very tight, so Guy will not want Oakley Pryor to get anywhere near him at all. So they continue to battle. Connington is looking at 630 points scored from the season. Oakley Pryor is currently estimated to have 624. That's a gap of 6 points. Another 6 points back is going to be Kieran Gifford. 4 points behind him, Bradley Barrett. 3 points behind him, Reese Hunter. So it's very tight, and the championship fight is not done yet. Anything can still happen. But Connington is snapping perfectly at the moment. Fastest of all in the first sector. Pryor second from Burgess, Hunter, Wooder and Barrett. So there might be a bit of a problem developing for Lewis Malin. Sounds like there might be some mechanical issues for the comp car. But as he continues to try and pull away from the car behind him, that's the 81 of Jaden Walker, the last driver in. Oakley Pryor is throwing caution to the winds here and going after Guy Connington. So Connington leads as he goes into his ninth lap, I should say. So Connington in front of Pryor, Burgess, Hunter, Wooder and Barrett. Lewis Halliday is pushing Barrett at the moment, and the 37 in there as well is Sam Stansbury in front of Kieran Gifford, who is having a really difficult weekend here. The championship leader coming into this weekend, but on drop scores he is going to slip to third behind Connington and Pryor. It's been a very tricky season for Kieran Gifford. He's had good consistency, but these last couple of meetings things have really not gone his way, and it's Guy Connington and Oakley Pryor who have totally grabbed the initiative. So Connington and Pryor are going to continue to race to the finish line here, out through the final few laps of this season. 8 minutes and 42 on the clock. Connington still trying to stretch away from Pryor. Pryor keeping him honest though. A 0.5 of a second deficit. Pryor was slightly quicker than Connington on the last lap too, so we're not done yet. And Oakley Pryor will still be giving it absolutely everything to close in on Guy Connington for the end of this race. And if anything were to happen to those two, then there would be an amazing battle after that point. So it looks as though we've had someone else peel into the pits. That is Harvey Edmondson. Harvey Edmondson in trouble. Looks as though Lewis Malin's got some mechanical problems developing as well. We've already picked up on that one, but even more are coming. And Guy Connington is now just less than half a second in front of Oakley Pryor. Pryor is catching it up into fourth place. That's a lovely move from Luke Wooder. Luke Wooder gets past Reese Hunter. Meanwhile, Bradley Barrett is still trying to shake off Halliday and Stansbury. Gifford is next up. And then behind them, it is Angie Stenning in 10th from Johnson, Lowther, Lockwood, Davis, Rose, Clinton and Jones from Holbrook, Luscombe and Canham. So the battle is still tooth and nail between Pryor and Connington, who are trading fastest sector times at the moment. The number 40 has got a mechanical flag. That is Thomas Storrar. So Thomas Storrar looks like he's going to be out of the race, and so too is Lewis Malin. He pulls in. So the mechanical problems are too great for Lewis Malin. His race is over. Meanwhile though, Guy Connington's not safe yet. Oakley Pryor still chipping away at the lead. The gap is down to 0.43. Oakley Pryor is not surrendering. He's not giving up. He's still pushing. If Connington could just look after the tyres and brakes though, the second half of the race could well come to him. A warning flag goes out there. That's for the 12. That's James Lowther, who was last year's junior champion, of course, and he's really struggled to transition to a senior. He's not really had the year he wanted. Conversely, his main rival from last year, Guy Connington, who was the vice champion in junior Rotax last year, in his first year as a senior, is on the course and on the verge of becoming champion, but Oakley Pryor is charging after him. It's now looking likely that these two will battle over the title, but if they do have an issue, then there's going to be a couple of other drivers who have something to say about it. Gifford, Barrett and Hunter are still waiting in the wings. So Oakley Pryor is charging after Guy Connington. And with 6 minutes to spare, Connington just needs to keep the pace up. At Persistence Motorsport, they are sweating cobs because the Team Clay Racing man, Oakley Pryor, is still giving him plenty of pressure. There's enough time for Pryor to catch, but is there enough opportunity? Because Guy Connington is not going to give him any space at all. Connington still pushing, Pryor right in behind him. They need to keep up this tempo. Some great overtakes in the midfield. We've had some amazing battles. Jason Lockwood is up from 29th on the grid to 12th, would you believe? An amazing comeback from him. And some moves made from Barrett. He's up to 8th place from 14th on the grid. Matt Jones has come up 12 places to 16th. And some great progress from George Holbrook and Ryan Luscombe. Retirements in the first final, and they've now made up over half a dozen places apiece. So Connington and Pryor still very close together. 0.6 of a second on the last lap as they come through. But Oakley Pryor is giving it everything to close in on Guy Connington. This race is going down to the wire. So is the title fight. 5 minutes remain in this season and in this championship showdown between Guy Connington and Oakley Pryor. On drop scores, they are just 6 points apart if Connington finishes ahead of Pryor. If Pryor can get past, I'm fairly sure they will finish dead level, and then it will go back to a countback. Connington does not want to lose this race to Pryor though. He wants to win by winning a race. So here comes Connington in front of Pryor. Burgess is third, fourth is Wooder, then it is Hunter, Halliday, Stansbury, Barrett, and then it is the 71 of Gifford in front of Stelling and Johnson. Jason Lockwood can't quite get close enough, but what a battle this is going to be between Connington and Pryor. He takes his first look over his right shoulder to try and assess where Oakley Pryor is. He's got about 4 minutes and 20 seconds left, plus the additional lap of course, so there's still time for things to come to him. So the retirements, we have Tom Edmonds, who had a breakdown on the way through the first corner, Alex Holgate, Jemima Hepworth, Harvey Edmondson, Lewis Malin and Tom Storer, all retirements from the race. But that was a big problem for Tom Edmonds, of course, from the sharp end of the field. Tom Edmonds started the race from up in P4 on the grid. And that has all gone terribly wrong from his point of view. A shame for Tom Edmonds. He was running so well up until that mechanical failure robbed him of what would have been a really strong result. He can only look and speculate as to what can happen now in 2020. He'll be back and he'll be charging for the title, no doubt. But Guy Connington and Oakley Pryor head into the last 3.5 minutes of racing of this season as they duel for the title. All of the Rotax 177 crew are stood at the sidelines watching this showdown unfold as well. Connington and Pryor still battling one-on-one, and it is a head-to-head scrap for the race and for the title, exactly as it needs to be. Connington still trading sector times with Oakley Pryor. Pryor is slightly slower in the first split, so Connington still has the measure of him at the moment. He needs to keep that sort of momentum up, but it is going to be tight all the way, that is for sure. Into the final hairpin. Connington and Pryor, 1 and 2. 1 and 2 in the race, 1 and 2 in the standings, 1 and 2 in the title fight, with only a couple of minutes left in the season. But Oakley Pryor has been looking after these tyres the last couple of laps. He's backed down a little bit, and now he's got a chance again to close up on Guy Connington. The gap comes down to 0.49 in the closing stages. Pryor still fighting after Connington. But as long as Connington can get through the rest of this race without Pryor getting close enough to go for a move, he's going to have what it takes to hold on for the championship fight. But still, Oakley Pryor hustles Guy Connington. If he can close in and pass, this is going to be an absolutely monumental fight. 2 minutes to go in the 2019 Motorsport UK British Car Championship season for Senior Rotax. In a turn 4. Down the straight towards Windwards. And so far, this is a very exciting run for the two leaders. Third position, though, is Ben Burgess from Wooder, Reese Hunter and Lewis Halliday. then Stansbury, Barrett and Stenning. So Angie Stenning has got past Kieran Gifford, compounding Kieran's woes even more. He can't afford to lose too many points here, Kieran Gifford, because there's still the threat of third position being stolen by Barrett and Hunter. So Gifford cannot afford to lose too many points. Speaking of Reece Hunter, he is now in defensive mode as he's trying to shake off Lewis Halliday. Halliday's giving him a real run for his money. He's going to come towards the inside line, and Halliday gets up the inside of Reece Hunter and snatches fifth position away. So Halliday gets through past Reece Hunter, and that's going to cost Hunter another point. So still they race for supremacy, still they battle and rage on around the circuit here. But Guy Connington in front of Oakley Pryor is still the order of proceedings, and if Connington can just keep on stretching the gap when he needs to, he's got what it takes to get this done. Connington is faster in the first split, Pryor is faster in the second split, and as they finish the lap, it's a stalemate between them. Now they're going to come up to lap Jaden Walker, Sam Sanders potentially as well. Blue flag's wave for Jaden Walker, and he's going to need to get out of the way pretty quickly of the leaders, Connington and Pryor. He will come out of the fourth corner at Winges and then up the climb towards bus stop. Connington still with the lead over Oakley Pryor. So now they will battle together through the bus stop chicane. But I think it's going to be too little too late for Oakley Pryor. Connington is still pushing hammer and tongs down to the wire. And is this going to be the last lap, or are they going to start one more? They are going to start one more, you know, over the line with 1 second to go. So Connington's got to hang on for 2 more laps, not 1 more lap. So close, so tight in this battle for the title. But so far, Connington has the measure of Pryor. He was faster than Pryor in the last lap by 0.02 of a second. It's so tight in the final reckoning of this title fight. Into the bus stop for the penultimate time. All he has to do is keep it up. All he has to do is stay in position. And getting out of the way now is going to be critical for Jaden Walker. He gets the blue flag for the umpteenth time this lap. He's going to need to move over and let them go. Blue flag still. Connington's going to dive up the inside line though, and that surely has cemented it as Pryor gets through as well. But Connington has got the pace he needs to keep it together. On the last lap of the season, he came into this weekend on total points in 5th, but he knew that on drop scores, he didn't have too many poor results to drop. So now Guy Connington will come through the bus stop for the last time. Oakley Pryor is still pushing him, but try as he might, he just can't find a weak spot. Guy Connington's second half of the season has just been so superior. He comes into the final turn, and Guy Connington is the senior Rotax champion of Great Britain in 2019. Brilliant, and he knows what that means. He has achieved his objective. Guy Connington is the British champion. Oakley Pryor is second after an amazing season. Third place goes to Ben Burgess in the race from Wooder, Stansbury, Hunter, Bradley Barrett, Angie Stenning from Kieran Gifford and Lewis Halliday. But the new British champion in senior Rotax is Guy Connington. After an amazing fight back all season long, his first year as a senior, and he is the rightful British senior Rotax champion. What a year for Guy Connington, and now he can well and truly celebrate.
Guy Connington snatches the title at the season finale, pushed all the way by vice-champion Oakley Pryor. And with Ben Burgess joining them on the podium, the season ends with smiles all round.
Final 2, led it from the start, but Oakley was so close behind all the way. I pulled away at the start a little bit, but from then on he just caught me every lap, and it was, he pushed so hard. Fair play to Oakley, didn't put a foot wrong.
Coming into this round, we knew Guy would be quick and hard to beat, but I think we showed that we could nearly beat him, but now we couldn't because he was quick.
Started off all right, got behind Oakley after a couple of laps just fell off the back of him. Didn't really have the pace in the rest of it, the final. Good result though, coming away with first.